Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide podcast, where we discuss your favorite marble sports. We bring you in-depth analysis of each event across many different marble sports competitions. Catch all the information and drama you want to hear about your favorite players, teams, events, and more right here on the MSW podcast.
Hello, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, episode 20. My name is Brendan, and Mr. Waff is not here today, everybody. Mr. Waff is doing something else at the moment. He usually is not available at this time. And so I'm recording at a weird time today. I'm recording at 12:13 p.m. EST, which is odd on a Sunday, especially. It's quite odd, and that's just because of our special guest today, a very special guest, which definitely is going to be all caps in the title as usual. I don't know. And so Mellacus is coming on today, the president, the head, the whatever other word you could use for that, of the JMRC. So that's going to be really exciting. It's going to be very exciting. And hearing a lot about Marbula 1 is, first off, definitely excited to hear about that new series. Definitely going to hear some trivia, but also some questions from the fans. We actually put out a Reddit post asking fans to ask questions for Mellacus, as he knows a lot of marble things. So he's going to be coming on and answering some of your guys' biggest questions. And I'm not going to make the intro too long with a few things I wanted to quickly announce. First off, from last episode about red number 3 and marbles not being marbles, apparently Super Ball is a marble, not a Lego. If you, I don't know how good our producer is, but if he throws a clip up from last episode where Waff was wrong saying Super Ball is a marble, I don't know if that's up right now. I don't know if we're hearing that. But if it is, there you go. If it's not, you get the gist. He said, someone in the live chat had said that, and he was like, oh, see, I was right. And he ended up being wrong. So, yeah, we will, anything I said relating to that obviously is wrong. But, he definitely looks a little off. If you look at a picture of Super Ball, because I was looking at a picture and it was convincing, because his little soccer ball thingies, pentagons and hexagons look all off key there. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's just whoever made the marble, because I don't really know how hard marble making is. I really do not. It probably is pretty difficult. So, hey, we will see. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Super Ball. We might ask Mel about that. And red number 3 as well. What else? What else do we have here? Oh, yes. A comment. We had one comment on one of our posts on the Reddit about red number 3 regarding the validity of this marble. And I'll go ahead and read this just to give him his time. This is submitted by Snornich. Dude, I don't understand how people pick their names on the internet. Snorncha? I don't know. Okay. Just a bunch of consonants and then a couple vowels. So here we go. He is a Mellow Yellow fan, evidently, as well. And here's what he says. I'll read verbatim to give him his pure thought. Get his pure thought out. Here we go. Well, sure, keychain, yada, yada, yada. But since the JMR committee has included him in the races ever since his debut, then definitely yes. If he has such a wildly advantage against with a Z, if he has such a wild advantage, I think it's supposed to be, against other racers, then the JMR committee should look into it and clarify whether or not he should still be in the rallies. With all these accusations, he forgot the S there, scandals and backlash against him, they definitely must have to run extra tests on him to make sure he's a qualified racer. My opinion is yes. he should still be allowed to race. Well, there you go. It was kind of a back and forth comment, but he does think red number 3 is qualified to race. But there should be something done. It's a good point. It really gets back to what I was saying before in the previous episode. It's not red number 3's fault. Okay? You can't put him in, right? Because JMR put him in, right? And they've let him race for multiple years now. Okay? And people know he's a keychain, and it's out, and we're still racing him, and he's like, this is good. He's doing it. And it's happening. So you can't do that. You can't put him in for like 2-3 years. I don't know how long has he been. This is why I need WAF, right? He would actually know how many years red number 3 has been in the Sand Marble Rally. But however many years he's been there a while. You can't just take him out because 2016 he's been in, so the full time. You can't just take him out because someone decided, or a couple fans are like, hey, I don't like that he's a different material or whatever. What you have to do instead, like I said at the end of the episode yesterday, not yesterday. It feels like yesterday. Wow. The episode 19, which was like 4 or 5 days ago, is that there needs to be adjustments in the track creation. All right? In order to account for his advantage. Because as me and Waf decided, red number 3's specific advantage is that lack of friction because of a different material. Other marbles gain sand quicker, as we saw in the wet thing. They attach more sand to them, while red number 3 kind of more glides over it. So just create a track that more balances that out. And what I was saying is more sharp turns where red number 3, a lot of that extra less friction energy is going to be flying back and forth, a lot of sideways motion. Just like how in the 5-meter sprint, the more sideways motion a marble has bouncing off the walls, the slower it goes. Exactly. So create a track that is a little bit more lending itself to a lot more sideways action, so that red number 3 has a little bit less of an advantage. And then you can have tracks that are a little bit more straight, so red number 3 can use its skill and the other marbles can use their skills. That's my opinion on this. So anyways, what else do we have here? Oh, quick shout out to our editor, Justin, who has done a great job with our first episode editing. I liked it. I think it was pretty good. He just released his podcast. His podcast is official now. He's done a few episodes. It was like, I can't remember the name, and I can't pull it up right now. It's something with anarchy analysis or something really cool. I don't know. I might put a link in the links from the videos channel that I barely use. So just look out for that and listen to that. And our last announcement. Now, this is an important one, guys, so listen up here. We're getting to Mellacus. We are getting to him. Don't worry. Do not worry. We're getting there. But this is a very important announcement. It is episode 20 right now. All right? So we've been doing this podcast for a while. Remember, all the way back in March I started this. And we are approaching episode 25, which is 1/4 of a way to the 100, which is a deal. You could say that's a deal. You could also say episode 33 is a big deal because it's 1/3 of the way, but that's besides the point. Episode 25, 1/4 of the way, kind of a big deal because we're almost like 2/3 of the way through a year of me doing this podcast, and it's been great with WAF, of course, for half the time. And what we're doing for episode 25, what I've decided is to put a special out. And this particular special is going to be a little bit of a walk-through time, recounting clips and awesome moments from the past few episodes, past 24 episodes, actually. And I have big shout-out to Killian, who's been really big help so far, Piney, who's doing animation for the YouTube, so maybe you want to watch the YouTube video for the animation part of it, our producer, our editor, who's going to help us out, and, me and Waf for talking once a week for an hour. But yeah, look out for that. More information on that later. It's going to be great, and I hope it's going to be great at least. And without further ado, Mellacus just put in the live chat, where is Brendan? I forgot to tell him that I was recording the intro first. And I think we're going to go to him. All right, we're going to get to the news here. All right, hear what Johnny Marble has to tell us for the week. And then when we see you on the other side, I'm going to be with Mellacus, and we're going to give you an awesome episode talking some marbles.
Bam, boom, bam, bam, boom, bam. Hello, Marble Sports fans. I am Johnny Marble, as always, with the Marble Sports Worldwide News. And Marble Sports fans, it's a sad time in this studio. There's not really any papers going about. There's no really more information coming in because we are in a quiet time in the Marble Sports community. I mean, all the Marble athletes are like in an off season. You know, they're resting and relaxing and training and getting ready for the next events and activities coming their way. And while I'm excited for that, I am also sad because we're waiting. But that's okay because we're waiting for the next SMR video and the upcoming Marbula 1 tournament. Now, Marbula 1 will annually take place before each of the Marble Leagues and will include 16 of the Marble League teams in it. There may be a Marble 2 League with the rest of the unpicked teams, but more information and the revealing of those said teams will happen soon. We also await the introduction of Event 1 of the Professional Marble Association Tournament by MSPN, as well as the new M Games and Marble Mayhem events. Now, Marble Fubeca is also in a lull as they finish up the building of their new studio, so we list them all the best. Now, these three elite Marble Sports channels are all working very hard to produce new content for us fans to enjoy, and I appreciate that. The following episodes will provide much more information regarding Marbula 1, its background, and its future. But now it's time for Johnny Marble's Predictions! That's right, it's a new segment we're introducing in this episode, and I'm excited because I get to predict my winners and the two runner-ups of the Marble Rally. And with that being said, I believe, without a doubt, that the winner of the Marble Rally will be my boy, Red number 3. That's right, Red number 3 is taking it home. You've heard it here first. But he's going to be followed closely behind Super Ball and Crazy Cat's Eyes. I mean, while they may not win, they will get second, and third, and that is good for them, and I think it's good for all of us to just watch them do their best. But with that, we end the news segment for the day. I know it's sad, I'll miss you. But hey, we're going to kick it back to Brendan on the podcast, which is featuring Mellacus, the president of JMRC, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun time for you. But hey, I have been Johnny Marble. Thank you for joining me. And as always, roll on, baby. Woo!
Hello, everybody. We are back from the news. Thank you, Johnny Marble, for another exciting news segment. Not too much going on this week. No new Marble videos since the release of episode 19, but still, it's good to keep up with all the information in the community, and still a lot of people posting novels regarding Red number 3. I don't think that will ever end, because people always like to argue. Anyways, welcome our special guest, Mellacus, the president of the JMRC. He is on already here. How are you doing today, Mellacus?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing well.
Good to hear.
Life
Good to
has
be
been
back.
busy.
Hello, everyone.
It's great to have you back as well. How's your life been? How's your non-Marble life been so far?
A little stressful. Had exams over the summer, but it's all over now. I have a lot of time for marbles again. And I'm really happy. This is the best time in throughout the whole year.
Absolutely. Marble time is always
Marble
the
time, best time.
Marble time, best time. Write that down, Mr. Waff, when you listen to this. Speaking of that, by the way, another thing that will come with episode 25, which I announced in the intro, will be something along the line of all the write that downs we had. So keep a look for that as well. Just a little teaser there. Anyways, Mellacus is on today, guys, and the upcoming, besides of course the 2020 Marble League, which is still a little bit away, the upcoming new and exciting event and tournament to the JMR channel is of course Marbula 1. If you have not heard of Marbula 1, then you are not looking. But it's been on the Reddit. There's been posts of what's going on with it. There's even been an awesome post about the logo. The logo is amazing. Just got to say that, Mellacus. I know who had done that. Was it Tim again?
No, it was Pim. So,
it was Pim.
Yeah.
Yeah, the logo looks incredible. It's just
totally
so cool.
agree.
And so we're going to talk a little bit first about a little bit of the history behind Marbula 1, how we got the ideas, and what the future looks like with that. So I want to ask first, okay, I want to know first, for our listeners, tell us, how did Marbula 1 come about?
Yeah, I really don't know myself. It started as a joke in a WhatsApp group with Yale, Dion, Minos, so our composer, and me. We were just randomly talking about Formula 1, and
Nice.
Dion then just wrote what about Marbula 1? And we were just like, yeah, that's something. That might be something. And then one thing came after another. So we started imagining what it could be, like regular scheduled racing weekends with qualifying.
Right, like the real Formula 1.
Yeah, exactly. But just in a marble manner. Yeah. Actually, hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, sure. So yes, Marbula 1. For
Sorry
those who
for
didn't
that.
imply this to themselves.
Yeah, and then we just started
Please
imagining
come back in.
what it could be.
That was very
So
quick.
One of the
That was
first
a very
questions
quick leave and
was,
return.
how can it coexist with the Marble Rally? Will it be its own thing? Will it replace the Marble Rally? Or will it be two separate things? And
Yeah.
I think you know of the problems that we had with the Marble League, being that we couldn't record it when we wanted to record it because of the dry weather in the Netherlands. And Yale thought about cancelling the Marble Rally and replacing it with Marbula 1, but we encouraged him to just wait until there's rain and not record one race in a recording session, but maybe record 2 races so you have more of it. And that's what we've done so far. We decided that Marbula 1 and Marble Rally will be 2 separate things. They will not interfere with each other. They will peacefully coexist. And I mean, that's a good thing, because in the end, that's more marble content for everyone. So yeah.
Now I do have a couple questions coming from this, if I could.
Yeah, sure. Hit me.
First off, so just quickly, you had said something about needing to wait for rain for the record sand rally. Do you need, it doesn't need to be a rainy day? Does it need to be a wet situation in order to record and make the tracks for the sand marble rally?
Yeah, it doesn't have to rain on the day when it's going to be recorded. It just have to have rain before that, so that the sand is actually wet. Because Yale needs that to form the track, and it's just easier with wet sand. Because
now is it just way too much of a task to even consider wetting it on your own with some sort of hose?
I thought about that. The problem is logistics, and it's just a waste of water, and I don't think that Yale would like to do that. He's very environment friendly and looking for being as neutral as possible, not wasting too many resources. So
That's true. It does not look good to be using gallons and gallons of water to wet a whole thing of sand. And then someone's like, "Hey, so what are you doing there?" I'm wetting up all this sand because I gotta race these marbles.
And it's a public place. People walk their dogs on that same hill.
They're like, "What are you doing?"
Just wetting the sand.
Yeah, just don't mind me here, you know. Man, that's good though. That's good though. See, by the way, that's good. That's a great thing, by the way, everybody. Remember that JMR is environmentally friendly, saving the world one marble at a time.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that. So
that's a good thing. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I have of course thought about that. I even thought about, I don't know, building some kind of hill in a backyard.
Yeah.
My backyard
with
is too
sand.
small for it. But yeah, just like some kind of wooden structure and fill it with sand. And then you can dry it, pour some water there so it's wet. And just build a track in your backyard. And you're not dependent on rain or whatever suitable times to record. But yeah, it's just a challenge and not worth it in my opinion, because that's really not the spirit of the sand rally. It's supposed to be something natural, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it. So
definitely. That's definitely something I was going to say. Like, just the fact, it almost adds to it, the fact that there can't be a sand rally unless we have certain weather conditions. Just like, I mean, that's similar with some of the sports today. Like, there's a lot of cancellations due to weather, and it makes it more real and natural.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I agree.
You know, instead of just an inside controlled thing, it actually is dependent, and that's actually makes it more real, at least. Obviously, when you miss a video,
relatable as a series.
Yeah. Like, oh man, it was rained out this weekend. You know, you can relate to that.
Yeah.
Or not rain. It was not rained out. You know what I mean?
In that case, of course.
Another quick question I had was, I had the question. Yes. So I live in America, right? So obviously I have a little bit different a situation from you. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, Mellacus lives Germany, is it right?
Yeah, Germany, Central Europe, right next to Yali, which is really cool.
That is cool. Yeah, he lives all the way out in Germany, so he's quite a bit far away. I think he's a 6-hour time difference. So for me, it's 12:44 right now, and for him, it evidently is 6:44 p.m.
6:44 p.m. Yeah.
Awesome. But I did want to ask, is Formula One like a big deal out there? Because I know it's not a huge thing here. It's like, you know, people like it. But is this like, are we talking like, you know how football is in our country? Is that how Formula One is out there?
I think it's comparable. Formula One has a lot of tradition in Europe. And I think viewing numbers went up compared to the last years. And the fan base in America is also growing because of that Netflix series. They had a collaboration with Netflix. It's called, what is it called again? Drive to Survive. It's
I haven't seen that. Like
a documentary series, just showing what happened in the 2018 Formula One season, and of course over dramatizing everything. But it's just cool to watch, and it's bringing the sport to American people. And so to answer your question, it's very popular in Europe. And popularity is growing in America as well. So
wait. While we're on that, so wait, who's okay? So I listened to this other guy's podcast who he's into Formula One a little bit. It's not the point of his podcast because he's just like a comedian, but he likes to watch it, and he's always mentioning this one guy who's like always winning. I think he drives for Mercedes.
Lewis Hamilton.
Benz. Lewis Hamilton, yeah, because because the way he puts it, it's always like if that guy Lewis Hamilton is not in first after if he's not in the first place after the first 10 laps or so, then the race will be interesting because you'll get to see actual good driving as he makes his way back to first because he wins every time.
Yeah.
And then he just started complaining about how something with like, I don't know, in the recent race, Ferrari made a mistake or something, or some one of their cars gave out or something, and then they lost position. They were in first at the beginning, and then
they had a really stupid team orders there. They ordered a driver who was in first place to let the other driver of Ferrari, who was in second place, to let him pass, but the first driver
what was that guy? Vettel, right?
Yeah, Vettel was in first, and Charles Leclerc was in second place, and they just said, "Yeah, hey, Vettel, you're like, I don't know how much it was, but it was like 4 seconds. No, probably not. Like 2 seconds before." Pax is referencing
why would they do that? Like, why wouldn't they just let the first guy stay? I know there's like some thing of like, okay, we want the person who's going to take a higher lead take the lead, but like he's already in first. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I just saw what Pax wrote in the live chat, and that's the thing that Vettel said later in the race when he retired because of an engine failure, and he said, "Bring back the fucking V12 engines," which they had like 10 years ago or something, and even though he was out of the race, he retired. He was voted driver of the day, probably because of that. And
that's
it's people call it a circus. I agree on that. But yeah, it's just a fascinating sport, and I love it. I love all the drama around it. I love the entertainment, and I especially love it when Lewis Hamilton does not start from the pole position, because it is true that the race will most of the times be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's awesome. I'll have to try to get into that, because it seems exciting. I mean, the racing is always exciting.
I think the problem is the
good,
times,
right?
because I think some Americans have to watch it like early in the morning. Depends on where the races are, of course, but
right.
Yeah, I think that's a problem.
Oh yeah, or you could get them.
Anyways.
I think you can stream them, get them on YouTube or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, we know now the background of Formula One, and by the way, we know in this situation we're clear to use the name that we're using with no copyright.
Yeah.
Or why am I saying we? I'm not JMR.
Well,
yet.
You're referring to the community, and I get it. That's cool.
But so I'm glad that that's settled, because I would hate to call it Marbula 1 and then it would have to be changed. But
yeah.
So we know that now. So tell us then, where did it go? So after we came up with this idea and it as a joke, how did we get to a logo and this whole idea that we have like a week ago?
You mean all the points that I presented?
Yeah. Like how did we get to that final stage? Like what was the thought process?
lots of discussions, lots and lots of thinking. It was random texting to Yeli. I remember when I texted him and was like, "Yeli, so we said that we want Marbula 1 and Marbula Rally to coexist. But if we make Marbula 1 another race that's just going from point A, which is the start on top of the hill, to point B, which is the finish line on the end of the hill, it's just going to be it's going to be a copy of Marble Rally. I don't know if that will work. So we really quickly decided that we need some kind of lap-based racetracks, and that's a big challenge because I don't want to burst any bubbles here, but marbles can roll on their own without any external factors.
There you go. Realist.
Yeah, I said it. Don't add me. But yeah, that's kind of the problem here. And so we decided, I remember looking for elevator mechanisms.
Right.
Oh wow. Flair just mentioned me in the live chat. GG.
Flair. He must be asking for unmod. Sorry, no, I'm not going to do that to you.
Yeah, I remember when I was desperately searching the internet for like possible solutions for marble elevators. I tried to go into Hot Wheel boosters, tried to find out whether marbles could be somehow launched up a booster track, but turns out that doesn't work. I also did some experimenting with a Hot Wheels booster pack at a friend's place. He happened to have one, and I brought some marbles, and we just tested it. It was pretty great, but that didn't work, unfortunately. Another possibility is there was some kind of set on Amazon and Walmart, so something from the US, which it was like a marble run, but very compact, like a tower, and it had booster at the very bottom, which would just shoot the marbles back up or accelerate them so they can roll up again. But turns out that set isn't even selling anymore. And there were some reviews about the set, and everyone basically said, yeah, set is cool, but the booster sucks. And I was just like, yeah, cool. Thank you, next.
Well, there you go. Yep. Thank you, next.
Yeah. And then I think Lego, so the admin of the Marble Base Discord, he passed me a video which is called the Great Ball Contraction. It's some Lego thing where they have all kind of constructions and elevators, lift mechanisms where they move marbles with Legos, which is brilliant, and it's so interesting. It's so cool, and there's a lot of solutions for that. Solutions for our problem there in those videos. But of course, these elevators focus on the single marbles to, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain without an example, but
so like you're saying if two marbles were to come at that elevator, they wouldn't be able to go up together.
Yeah, they one marble had to let the other pass again.
Now there
were always pile-ups at the entrance of the elevator, which was a problem.
Yeah, that would not. Yeah, we don't want that.
So Yale then came up with a very simple solution, which we considered at the beginning of it all, and it turns out that simple is best here. And we just decided to use, or we don't use it yet, but that's the plan for now, to construct a conveyor belt mechanism with a lot of pickups running at high speeds.
That would be great, yeah.
Yeah, and the conveyor belt is just as wide as the track.
Awesome.
Has a lot of pickups, so the marble transfer rate will be really high, and we hope it doesn't neutralize the leadership and distances between the marbles too much. It will of course have some kind of impact on the race, but we hope it's going to be interesting and not too disturbing and interfering with how the race is going. So yeah.
Now,
it will be kind of like in Marble City in terms of the mechanism, but it will have another design, I think even more pickups than there, and just running at higher speeds. So that's the plan.
You know what might be cool? I don't know, because I'm just now thinking about this. So is it okay? A couple questions to get out of the way before I propose my idea. First off, what is the look of this track? Is it just an O shape like in real Formula One? Is it and also how long does it take for an average time for the marble to circle the track?
So first of all, don't say that Formula One tracks are just an O design. You'll get a lot of hate for that. They can be really complex, but yeah, it's just an O with a lot of design elements and an L on top of it, or I don't know, some S segments. Yeah, but we're going for 1 minute lap times. We hope we can achieve it. So we have to find a balance between interesting lap times and interesting track speed. We of course don't want the marbles to crawl.
Be crawling, right.
Yeah, at very boring speeds. We want to have some kind of action there. And well, Yale hasn't started the construction of the track yet, so I can't really say anything to that. But our plan is to have 1 minute lap times with interesting speeds and an interesting design. We don't want to have just straights. We want to have curves, different curves with different angles and different compositions. So we want to not copy existing Formula One tracks, but
of course.
But we of course have similar elements, track elements, to have that racetrack feel. So that's what we're planning.
That's cool, and exciting. I don't know what you're going to come up with, but it's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
just an idea. I hope so too. An idea I had is that obviously the conveyor belt is probably your best bet, but consider trying to just take advantage of materials in this situation, and you might be able to even eliminate any sort of conveyor belt. I don't know how far in elevation the end of the track and the beginning will be. Obviously the beginnings have to be higher than the end in order for the marbles to roll. But if the elevations aren't too different, then what you might be able to do is if the marbles approach the end point at a high speed, and obviously the track, I don't know what kind of track you're going to use, but it's going to have some sort of friction. If you can get a kind of like a little, like a material that is against marbles almost frictionless, and have it kind of sloped up back to the beginning, as the marbles transfer from the track to that material and then experience a lot less friction, they might be able to actually, with the speed they're gaining going to the bottom of the track, roll up that and go back to the top. I don't know if that's possible. And I don't know if that's not likely, possible. Especially when marbles start hitting each other and then they're not having a good speed. Because,
if we were to find something like this, you'd probably get a Nobel Prize, because that would be what is it called in English? In German it's called, or in general it's called perpetuum mobile, which is a closed mechanism.
Yeah, a perpetual motion machine, which is impossible.
Yeah, and that's basically it. That's our problem here, because even if you have a perfect frictionless surface, you'll still have air resistance.
Yeah, it's just, I just, there's definitely a way, it's just probably really complicated to allow for the marbles to get back up to the top without them stopping and something else moving, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like somehow replicating, how there's like, you ever play Mario Kart? You ever play Mario Kart? No?
Fidget spinners, boosters. Yeah, I played Mario Kart. Amazing.
You know how like they have those boost pad things in the Mario Kart where you go over them and you'll like speed? Like that kind of thing. Obviously, that's not, you can't just put a little arrow down and the marble's going to go faster, but something that replicates that. So when the marble gets to that area, it will just have a boost. It will boost itself up to the beginning, and it will avoid that marble energy stopping and then the conveyor belt moving. That is very difficult. If I happen to imagine that idea in a dream or something, I will let you know. Absolutely.
Just hit me up, because we're running out of ideas here. Of course, we can try some kind of really complicated stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
To mock these booster fields, but we just don't have the time and the resources for that.
Unless it was like already laid out, like this is how you would do it and it would work. Now you just got to quickly put it together.
Yeah.
I mean, open it up to, by the way, the fans out there, in the comment section, you guys that listen to this show, if you have any ideas, if you have any thoughts, or if you know any ways to create kind of a in real life boost pad that could boost from a lower elevation to a higher one to avoid the marbles stopping, but still being able to consistently move them back up to the top, hey, calling on the engineer side here, and throw a comment down, and we'll get in contact, see if we can utilize your services, because that would be a very helpful situation. That would be amazing. But yeah, so that's cool. So you're gonna have, so the track's gonna be around 1 minute long, and it's not gonna be a circular shape. It's gonna have many twists and turns, you're saying, or at least some?
At least some.
Okay. Yeah. That's very cool. Do you know what kind of material track you're using? Are you gonna use the gray one you used for the biathlon, or something else?
That was the plan. but the problem with those tracks is that they only come in straight and 90-degree turn segments.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't construct an interesting track using those pieces. We might use them for sections, but we just have to do something on our own. Jelle was thinking about laser cutting pieces, so custom pieces.
He's going crazy.
Yeah, as always.
That's good. It's good. I love the creativity.
Yeah. Like laser cutting elements or 3D printing something. So we'll definitely have custom-made elements.
Awesome.
We just need them to make interesting tracks.
Right. All right then.
And for material, it will most likely be either, I don't know, plastic or something made out of wood, but most likely plastic, I think.
Maybe you should consider taking whatever you build the track out of and kind of slicking it over with some sort of marble priming oil or something.
You really want to start another doping scandal?
Oh, no, but it would be consistent for all marbles.
Yeah, but the first marble will pick up some of the oil because of friction, and then the marble following the first marble will have less oil on the track, and there you have a scandal. Boom.
And there you go.
So
the Reddit
easy.
page has now exploded. So
yeah, locking down the subreddit. No thank you.
Oh man, it's either a meme or it's a novel describing on that topic. Hey.
But seriously, whenever I read some kind of conspiracy theories, even under the videos in the comments, I'm just praying to the marble god. God, please let this be a meme or a troll. Please, I don't want another scandal.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, I know you didn't want to say much regarding red number 3. Oh, Pax has to leave. Goodbye, Pax,
bye, Pax.
From the live chat.
Thanks for
he's a
being
JMRC
here.
member, so we will recognize him. Stint's left too. He's a JMRC member as well. So bye to him. And listen
belated
later.
bye.
Belated bye. Yes, I know you didn't want to talk too much about red number 3, but do you even? I mean, up to you either way. Do you want to throw in one thought on that whole situation, or you want to just leave it?
Yeah, I can do that. So, my thought on the situation.
Yeah.
I have to be very careful with my choice of words.
That's true.
That's true. Well, I'm not going to make any statements on whether he should stay or not, or what we plan to do with him. I'm just going to say that I love the drama around it. I love how the community is coming up with all kinds of theories, how the law around it is evolving. That's just beautiful. And I'm so proud to say, yeah, hey, we have that kind of stuff in our community. It's not just marbles racing down a hill. There are scandals involved. People want one of those marbles to be removed or to be disqualified. They are questioning its right to race down that hill, and that's just crazy. I love that. That's amazing. And that's my thought on the situation. I think that we have to be very careful with not milking it too much, because at some point it will just be annoying to everyone.
Probably, yep.
But yes, I especially enjoyed when people edited like those CNN news pictures and edited red number 3 pictures in there, changed the headlines like, I don't know, something like red number 3 supposedly not a marble. And it all started. Oh, and the MSPN documentary or Marblementary on it, just amazing. Great work from the community. I mean, I helped with the project a bit. It was. I think that's just beautiful. We have to be careful to not take it over the top.
We certainly do.
Too much, but I think it's good for the community overall. people have to talk about something, and they will talk about it. They will speculate. They will have discussions, and that's just great. Yeah, these are my thoughts on this.
Awesome. So we'll have to see what happens in the future with Red Number 3. Very, like you said, a very awesome. It's just awesome that this is a deal. This is a deal that people take the time to write these huge Reddit posts on, to actually go back into the videos and take pictures and analyze and look and back up their points, and it's just, definitely. It's absolutely awesome. That is definitely an awesome aspect of it. Have I said awesome enough times? I think I have.
I think you haven't.
Awesome. Very awesome. Okay. Anyway, that was awesome. And that's enough times. Anyways, if you
I'd say back to Marbula 1 or not.
Yes, if you do not have any more really super awesome important, there you go again, awesome. Super awesome important facts to let us know about Marbula 1, we can move on to the trivia segment, but if you have
I do have one piece of information.
Awesome. Let's hear it.
So when we presented the details that we had, which is the result of our first conference about Marbula 1,
right?
It said concerning what teams are going to be in.
Right.
We said that it's going to be the top 16 teams of the Marble League. We actually reconsidered that. I wrote it in the Reddit post, then I talked to the committee. We all agreed, they are right. It's probably not the best solution to just pick the top 60 marbles.
Because the Savage Beaters will always be in that? Maybe.
I'm not going to say yet what teams are going to be in there, because we planned something. I'll get to that in a moment. But I talked to the committee, then I talked to Jelle, and we all agreed, okay, top 16 is probably not the best solution here. We'll do something else. And then the committee, so the JMRC, we went and had a lot of discussions about every team. In the end, we even voted on what teams should be in. And we have a result. And we plan to announce the teams in the following hold on a second.
I'm assuming he's going to say the following video. I hope the Limers, he'll be back in a sec, hopefully. I hope the Limers get picked for that, because I would love to see the Limers. I mean, come on, guys. At this point, there's... Oh, sorry. Mel's back, so you're not going to hear my thought on the Limer. All right, go ahead.
We plan to do a promotional phase. We're having an artist preparing some really cool banners for the teams, and we'll show the teams one after another during the promotional phase. And I think it will start soon, because Jelle will be on vacation from end of October to someone in November, and during that time, to just keep things interesting in the community, we thought we are going to announce what teams are going to be in Marbula 1. So
awesome.
So the news is that it's not going to be just the top 16 teams. It's going to be a collection of all 28 active Marble League teams. Yeah.
So all of them are going to compete, or are it going to be 16 from all of them?
It's going to be 16 out of those 28 teams. So we considered all teams, not just top 16
even the
or
Gliding
top 20.
Glaciers, everybody. I'd love to see the Gliding Glaciers. I'd love to see Team Plasma. I'd love to see the Limers. Please tell me Can you tell us, are the Limers going to be in there? Please tell us. At least
unfortunately, I can't tell you, because we planned that promotional phase and it's going to be fun. So just wait a bit and you are going to find out.
I want to know the Limers. I want the Limers to redeem themselves.
Yeah, but that's the hype,
everybody.
right?
That's pretty bad.
Now I announced that it's not going to be just the top 16 teams, and
now when the
speculations are back.
Oh man, That's awesome though, and I'm very excited for Marbula, whatever.
Marbula 1.
Yes.
Or just say
Marbula
M1. I don't know.
M1. Yeah, that's cool. And,
before we move on, I just
ooh.
remembered that I have another detail.
Another detail, guys. The plot thickens here. Yes, let's hear it.
Many people don't know about this because I think I didn't mention it in the details post, but we actually agreed on having a feeder series. So Marbula 2 will happen. There will
Marbula
be
2.
Marbula 2, which is going to be like not the B League, but just like the feeder series. Like there is Formula 1 and Formula 2, and the drivers of Formula 2 are not as good as Formula 1 drivers, but they can evolve and then or just improve on their skills.
That's very cool. So all 28 of these teams will kind of balance out between the two leagues over time.
Yeah, and maybe not just those 28 teams.
Oh man, this is.
I'm not going to say more.
Everybody.
Just.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just going to say this. We hear you, and we read everything you say.
Ooh.
We're well aware of what's going on in the community.
They're watching you guys. They're watching you. They've read every word of that 3-page novel you posted about Red Number 3.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The sad thing is we actually did that.
Oh man. Good stuff, guys. Yeah. This is gonna be awesome, as I've mentioned before. And yeah, I'm so excited for Marbula 1. It's gonna be just a new idea is gonna be great. But yes, we should move on to the trivia segment if you're ready, if you are prepared.
I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Like you're gonna get these questions right, we should move on. And I'll let you go ahead and present your question first.
All right. So my question is not about Marbula 1, of course, not about the Marble League, but something I wouldn't consider myself as a pro with so far. It's going to be the Marble Rally, which is not my specialty, but yeah, I have. So my question is, which marble or marbles have the most wins in the Sand Marble Rally overall?
Oh, most first place finishes?
Yeah.
Oh. Ew. I mean, like, you have the obvious guess of Red Number 3. Yeah, I want it as well, but I know there was some like there's a difference between best performer and best over and like best
now
performer.
We're just going by wins.
Just
going by wins, so first place. Yeah.
I know, but like the person with the most first places might be the marble. Sorry, with the most first places might not be the marble with the who's the overall best. It's a good question. I mean, my sand mount. So many marble competitions now. My marble rally expertise is not as high as my marble league or marble Olympics.
I thought so. That's why I prepared that question.
Man, with the marble league, I'll be digging back into 2016, throwing things out there like the Rojo Rollers and their record. But like you talk about marble rally, I'm sitting here like, now, what were the competitors again? I think I would go Red Number 3, but I'll do like a secondary guess. I think we also seen a lot of good racing from. Oh man, who do I hear a lot? Who do I hear Greg Woods say a lot during the commentary on those? I think I don't know. I'll throw a random one out there. Let's see how Pollo Loco does here. So Pollo Loco or Red Number 3? Am I right in either of those?
You're right with Red Number 3, of course.
Right.
And sharing the first place of the most wins with him is actually Slimer, and they both have 4 wins each. Yeah,
wow, really, Slimer?
I didn't believe that as well, but I thought about Red Number 3 could definitely be on top, but there's Slimer.
Wow,
holding.
That's good, because Mr. Waff,
Red Number 3 does.
Mr. Waff may have actually gotten that, because when I was doing the draft league for Sand Marble Rally, I was picking, and I didn't I'd picked all the ones that I wanted to, and then Mr. Waff was like, "Oh, go with Slimer. He actually did really well in previous years, so he actually knew that kind of stuff. So he might have gotten that. But that's good to know. Slimer's not that bad of a racer there. Anyways, that's good. That's a good question. I'll throw mine out there, which is not actually mine because a listener wrote in and gave his question. Mr. S-Man, who does the ML Facts
I
Instagram.
have to admit that wasn't my question either. I just asked someone from the JMRC
Oh, great minds think alike.
So shout out to Pax for that great question.
Awesome. That's
Thank you
cool.
so much. You really
you
saved
go.
me a lot of time because I'm really not good with coming up with those kind of trivia questions.
Me neither. Yet this was my idea for a segment, wasn't it? All right. Let's ask my question here. All right. So his was, what rookie team placed the best in each year, 17, 18, 19, from the Marble League, and what was their placement? That is a good question. I haven't looked at the answer yet, so this is gonna be good. You give your guesses, and then I'll give mine.
Was 16 one of those? So 2016.
There was no. Well,
technically,
just be whatever. All of them rookies, so they're just the first place finisher.
So 17, 18, and 19.
Yeah.
Okay, so the obvious choice for 2019 is Green Ducks.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
I think that's definitely the correct answer. 2018. Ooh, I don't even know. That's a really tough one because you have to know when each team entered or had its rookie appearance.
Yeah, that's the trivia part of it.
I have to guess here.
Yeah.
Probably Snowballs.
In 17, you're saying?
And 18.
Oh.
I know. Okay. I remember Snowballs participated the 2017 qualifiers, but failed to qualify or something like that.
Did they?
So, yeah, I think so. So 2018 isn't a rookie year anymore. Phew, I really don't know. I have no idea when each team entered, apart from 2019, where we have Green Ducks, Hornets, and Turtle Sliders as newcomers.
Just throw a couple guesses out there. We'll see. Maybe you'll get them right. It's a good one. Good one. Good question, Mr. S-Man.
I'll just reference something from the live chat.
Oh,
Lunadix said that Indigo Stars. He thinks that Indigo Stars are rookies for 2019 as well. I think that's partially true because we had them before and they were supposed to start in 2017 or 2018 but retired officially due to mental health issues or something. But yeah, that's true. Yeah. Technically 2019 is the rookie year. So yeah, okay. Never mind. I fucked up a little bit there.
Oh, well,
okay, so my guess
your best effort
for 2018 is dude, I really suck at this.
Hey, head of JMRC, dude. Just come on, you gotta know your marbles, bro. President of JMRC, as he likes to be referred to, along with a deep bow of respect.
I really don't know. I don't even know what to guess. I'm sweating. Okay, my guess for 2018 is Snowballs, even though that doesn't make any sense. And for 2017, I'd say... what is a new team? Team Galactic was in the first year, Rangers. Oceanics, I think, as well. Maybe the Midnight Wisps. Midnight Wisps for 2017? I don't know. Okay, these are my guesses.
Alright, I'll have to throw some out there because I haven't looked at the answers yet either. Alright, my guesses are obviously, evidently, Green Ducks with the second place in 2019 was pretty. It's obvious. We know that. This is not an easy question. I got to tell you that. Definitely 2018. So 2018, we saw who won that? Who won? Midnight Wisps won that. So they were not rookies there. And then we had performances. I would go Raspberry Racers 2018, but I don't know what placement they got. I think it was in the top half. That's the best I can do. And then for 2017, I would say, you said Midnight Wisps, so I'll say someone else. Were there even any rookies that year? Jeez.
That's really difficult, isn't it?
It's not easy, man. It's not easy, man. Were there rookies that year? Were there? That's a good question.
I think so, because in 2016 we didn't have any qualifiers, and 2017 was the first year to have qualifiers, I think. So
Shining Swarm is terrible, so it's not Shining Swarm.
Shining Swarm.
Yeah, maybe were the Limers in the 2016? Were they? The Limers were from the beginning, weren't they? Yeah, I think.
Maybe. Dude, I don't know. I'm not the stats guy.
I don't know. That's Falkef.
Blame me for it, but I really don't know.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing about as good as me. So, and I'm supposed to be the host of this podcast. I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about. Like that's ever happened in 20 episodes, you know? Who is it? I will. The best I can do is Midnight Wisps too. That's all I can even think of. I think we're gonna go with that. Let's see what the answer is. We're gonna be so wrong. In 20. Oh wow. We were dumb. So in 2017 we were right. Midnight Wisps, and we didn't know any of the placements, but they actually got 4th in 2017. So they did pretty well. Green Ducks evidently 2019 they got 2nd. So we knew that. I can't believe we forgot this, but in 2018, in 6th place, our rookie team, the Hazers.
I
can't believe I forgot that, in all honesty.
Hazers is the need. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was actually a tough question.
Really tough question, because I'm not even sure if our stats guys would know this, because you really have to know when each team's first appearance was, and also you have to know when their best performance was. So other things to know here. Right,
definitely.
Yeah. Good question.
To remember really all that's question. Difficult. Yeah, big shout out to S-Man again for that question. So to move on to our last fun segment here with Mellacus, I put a Reddit post out giving the opportunity from fans all around the Marble community to put questions they have for Mellacus of any type regarding Marble sports or whatever. And so we got a bunch. A lot of people want to know things. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through these questions. And I don't know how long this is going to take because we're about at 50 minutes now. So this may end up in a part B, or this may just be a long episode, depending on how much longer it goes. So if it's going to be a part B, then the episode will end right now, like as I'm saying this, and then you'll just see the part B and you click on that and you can hear your question being answered if it makes you happy. If I'm not going to go to a part B and I'm just going to throw it in, evidently you'll notice in the episode that there's quite a bit of time left, and your question was answered here. So, Mellacus, are you ready to give answers to all the fans about these questions?
Yes, I am.
That's good. That's good stuff. So I'm just gonna start. With the first question here from Rojo Nico. He asks, could we be seeing? Man, can I read? Could we be? This is a struggle. Could we be seeing retired teams return in Marbula 1? I'm having some Team Plasma vibes here.
Okay, so maybe in the future, but definitely not in the pilot season, which will be this year, of course, because we just want to fill it with popular teams, so people can relate to the series. People actually have a motivation to click the videos and watch the marbles compete. And that's what the initial thought was, to give beloved marbles and popular individuals of each team some kind of additional screen time during the off season, because I mean, Marble Olympics or Marble League is really not that long. It's just April, May, and the beginning of June, and then it's over, and then you have to wait for the rest of the year. Of course, there's the qualifiers as well, but that's just for 4 events in one video as well. So we thought it would be just kind of cool to have additional screen time for for the teams. Yeah. So so we have to keep in mind here that there will be Marbula 2 next year. So after the pilot season, after Marble League 2020, and Marbula 2 could introduce retired or completely new teams.
No, that would be great. Yeah,
that might happen.
All right.
So the answer to his question is yes, but not in the first year.
So yeah, but kinda.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next question here from Just Tim, and that's just with a Z because he thought that would be cool. Sorry. How much? How much time does it take to create?
Mocking the viewers.
Sorry. Hey. It's in good fun.
Yeah,
I'm engaging. Let's call it engaging the community. Let's call it engaging the community.
By mocking them.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. All right. How much time does it take to create, film, and edit an entire series like Marble League or Marbula 1? Is it all done at once or one at a time?
So how much time does it take? It depends. I know this answer sucks, but it's the truth. But I can give you a general overview of how it works. So with Marble League, we produce the first events in advance. So the beginning of the series is going to be flawless, and people can just enjoy watching the first 4 or so events. And then with a buffer of sometimes a week, sometimes more than a week, if there happen to be any changes in the event schedule, we kind of pre-produce the videos, so they are ready upon release. But it's not happening in one bunch, it's happening like on the go, on demand. Yeah.
Cool.
And the same with Marble Rally, of course, because the difficulty here is that we are really dependent on the weather, and we can't possibly record all 10 races in one session because it's really exhausting. You have to construct the track, you have to come up with another track design, and having all 10 races in the very same sand conditions is also not that entertaining. So we think it's better to release the series once a video is ready and not to pre-produce everything and then just release it in a certain schedule. So yeah, that's how it's happening at the moment.
All right, that's cool. Obviously a lot of time and work is put into it. Next question from Fraps, which is spelled with a PH. So Fraps. I don't know how these people come up with their names, but Fraps asks, to the great and powerful Admiral Mellacus, in universe, are there humans in the marble world? Out of universe, where do you get the marbles from? And then he put an edit as a corollary, whatever that word means. How do you pick which marbles to get?
Okay, so that's 3 questions here. First question: are there any humans in the marble world? No, definitely not.
The marble world's for marbles there. Come on.
Yeah, we don't have any humans.
Yeah, they would ruin it for him. Okay.
Yeah. Out of universe, where do we get our marbles from? We mostly order from the UK shop of House of Marbles. Well, that's how we do it now. I don't know how Yali did it before, but yeah, we mostly get our marbles there.
Cool.
And how do we pick which marbles to get? Well, I don't really know. I'm sorry. Well, it's just Yali choosing a design, ensuring that the marble is unique enough, or we're having a fan team contest where fans will choose marbles, a team name and a logo, and we then just order those marbles. That's how we did it this year.
Cool. Moving on to the next question, if you're good with that, by Luke Skylicker 1. Justin,
Nice
by the
year.
way, just in case there's a Luke Skylicker 2, he wanted to make sure that everyone knows that he is the first Luke Skylicker. So please remember that. Okay, just in case, because there will be a 2 someday. So we have to keep that. He's the number. This is the number 1 right here. This is the guy. This is the first Skylicker. Okay. So let's just keep that in mind as we go into this question, which I don't really understand, but hopefully you will. How restricting is no direct link? Will we see nothing but new faces come season 2, or will some teams from ML stick around?
Okay, so he's referencing something that I wrote in my details post. I said that there will be no direct link or interaction between the Marble League and Marbula 1 once we fill all the seats for season 1. And he's asking how with restricting this no link is going to be. Well, that's a really tough question. You will see some familiar faces in season 2. Most likely it will be the same teams from season 1, at least for Marbula 1, so the first league. For Marbula 2, as we said before, there are going to be some familiar, some unfamiliar teams, maybe. So yeah, you will see some familiar faces in season 2. And with
Cool.
no direct link, I meant that the results of the Marble Olympics will have no impact.
You said
on-
Marble Olympics. He said Marble Olympics.
There won't be any link between the results of the Marble League and Marbula 1, so we're not making dependent on how the team finished.
What do you think is a good? Wow, the mouth is not working today. I think that's a good decision.
Yeah,
Next
because
question.
of which
You wanted
I
to say
mean,
something? Go ahead, finish.
the teams that don't finish high, like the teams that don't qualify, they already don't get too much screen time, even during Marble League season. So
Like the Limers, because they
punishing them
absolutely
by
suck.
not even giving them a chance to appear in the off season is, I don't know. I can get why many fans. Yeah, I can get why a lot of fans were concerned here. I'm just glad we listened to that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, another good question here from Pax, your favorite JMRC member. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is probably Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back.
That was a good movie. I love that one. Love Star Wars in general. You ever see the spin-offs from Disney XD, like Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels?
I've seen Clone Wars, and I'm hyped for the new season that they announced. They announced that they're going to be finishing the Clone Wars series because it kind of got cancelled at the end when they first did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Yeah.
Have you seen Star Wars Rebels, though? Because in my opinion, that is the absolute, by far, best series Disney XD, like that TV show, has ever released, that TV channel. Like, just, not only was it as good as Clone Wars, but it also had a story and a depth side of it. It was unbelievable, in my opinion. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I haven't seen the series yet because I really don't.
You gotta.
I have no access yet to it. I would have to watch it illegally, and I have Netflix, and I kind of don't want to do that.
I mean, there always is, 1, 2, 3 movies dot whatever they change it to every month.
Yeah, but Disney is launching their own streaming service, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
They'll have a bunch of new Star Wars live action series there. So cool. I'm going to be subscribed to that anyways, and probably watch Rebels as well. So it's
trust
all
me,
good.
You're not going to be disappointed. It is amazing. They did such a good job. It was such a good job. Recommend that for anyone out there who likes a little bit of Star Wars, or just likes a little bit of a really good story. Anyways, plowing ahead here. The next guy, it wasn't really a question, but he did say something. But I know this is Patrick, so I guess we know now that his name's Patrick. By the way, with 2 C's at the end. No C, K. It's 2 C's, so don't mess that up, all right? He says, "Hello, Mellacus. I enjoy your ad mining on the Discord."
Shout out to you, Patrick.
Awesome.
And thank you for enjoying my administration.
Oh, adminning. Is that what he meant?
Yeah, adminning. So just being admin on the Marvel base. It's really fun, and I enjoy it. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, next question. By J.V. Hazard. Is Marbula 1 going to be like SMR, but with the Marble League teams? No.
It's going to be its own thing. It's going to have lab-based track designs, and it's going to be a completely different series. At least that's what we're going for, and I'm sure we are going to achieve that.
You know what I'll do? A little audio-based footnote. Go back like 40 minutes, and you'll hear the answer to that question in long term. So there you go, because we just talked about it. All right, next question. V8 Block asks, what are the names and locations of the race tracks in Marbula 1? Any news if former Marble Olympics hosts will also host a Marbula 1 Grand Prix? That actually, good question from that. Maybe try to take a second on this. How will hosting and theming of these tracks go? Will they be based on the teams, or just kind of a generic one for everything?
So the general design of the tracks will be generic, and for each Grand Prix we will... So first of all, the tracks are going to be modular, so we will have modules that we can exchange pretty easily.
Right, that's a good idea.
We can change the track design, and we can save track designs to revisit those circuits in the future. And each circuit will be themed after a team, which will going to function as a host, but hosting really won't give you any benefits. It will just be some team logos, probably some colors in the stands, representing that this particular Grand Prix is located in that particular team's location.
Okay.
And yeah, of course, the Grand Prix name will also be dependent on that. So that's how the tracks are going to be named, and how the stands are going to look like, hopefully.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm so excited to see how this is done.
Yeah, and to answer his questions, we don't have any names yet. We'll start thinking about that soon, because we have our teams now, the definite choice, and we can start building up on that. And he also asked if any former Marble Olympics host will also host a Grand Prix. Yeah, of course, why not? It's just one racing weekend, really. And I think it's... So in law right now, it's not as complicated as hosting a whole Marble Olympics season. So it's really just a racing weekend.
Right.
So yeah, definitely, there's nothing against it.
Awesome. That's going to be exciting. Next one from Cubic Tony, a Midnight Wisps fan. What are your picks for 2020 Marble League Championship? Maybe with some analysis to back it up. If you don't have any, by the way, you don't have to go into this. I think it would be cool to have you on closer to the Marble League 2020 and kind of maybe discuss some predictions, because MSWP, by the way, did I announce this yet? I don't know if I did. MSWP is planning on hosting a Marble League 2020 fantasy league that will include a giveaway for like the first place finisher or maybe even the top 3 finishers of either MSWP or even some Marble League merch. So keep posting on that. You definitely want to get involved in that. And Mellacus, it's open to you as well if you think you have what it takes to get first place. But if you don't have picks at this point, we can table that for a different day. Up to you.
I do have some picks and some
Awesome.
personal analysis, but I think having me participating the your fantasy league, it's a fantasy league, right? Because you cut out there, and I just had to assume what you said.
Yeah, fantasy league.
Okay. Yeah, the problem is we know the results beforehand, so it would just be unfair of having me there. But I don't know any results for the 2020 Marble League Championship yet, of course, so I can do some speculation. So I'd of course keep an eye out for the Green Ducks, because they had a really impressive rookie performance, and we didn't even
absolutely.
rig anything. We didn't interfere with the results, so that's the most impressive part. It's just a really talented team, and I'd keep an eye out on them, definitely. I think they have what it takes to finish on the podium again, maybe even a win next season. But that will depend on their preparation. I think we will see more on the qualifiers. Another interesting rookie team are the Hornets, of course, because they
did so well.
Did so well in the showdown, and I don't think anyone expected that. So they certainly earned themselves a really big fan base, and I think a lot of people are eager to see their performance in the 2020 qualifiers, when they're competing against real deal teams and not just B-League teams. And I think my third pick would be the Snowballs, because some people... Okay, look, that's something that upsets me. A lot of people, when we announced that Team Galactic is going to host 2020, were saying stuff like, yeah, we hope they don't get the curse of hosting.
I don't understand that. There's no curse of hosting. I've yet to see what that means.
When the Snowball hosted, they finished, 8th, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Seventh. They finished 7th, which is actually a good placement. And
7th place, that's a really good place.
And the top 4 for most of the actual that Marble Olympics. So, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense what people are saying about that, to be honest.
Yeah, so they performed pretty well in 2018. Right. Then they failed to qualify, of course, but they got their shit together and
they were
trained really
amazing
well.
Performance in the 2019 Marble Showdown.
And just, finished the showdown in first. So I think that was a very clear sign that they are willing to compete against the teams.
Absolutely.
They have a lot of motivation right now. So I'd say, my 3 hot picks would be... I forgot them. No, I didn't. Snowballs,
Sounds like
Green Ducks, and the Hornets. Yeah.
Good.
I think those are my 3 picks. And, of course, I hope Team Galactic is going to do well.
I hope so as well.
Yeah. It's one of my personal favorite teams. So, of course, I hope they do pretty well and have a decent performance in 2020.
All right. And we will devote multiple episodes to arguing this back and forth with many different people over many different picks. I have a lot of opinions on Mellow Yellow and Savage Speeders and blah, blah, blah. It could go on for years. A few more questions here, and then we'll be able to wrap it up. Next one here from Cow King 0. So not even Cow King 1. He has not made it to number 1 yet. In the years to come, will there be more fan-made teams?
Yes, there will be, definitely. Probably next year already, maybe for Marbula 2, maybe for the Sand Rally, but not for the Marble League next year. So we love the idea of having fan teams, but we're just closing the door for now for the Marble Olympics, the Marble League, pardon. So there will be opportunities to submit teams, so it might be good to already start thinking.
Yeah, I would love to actually see if I could get my team to get into the Marble. I mean, at least do better than the next Cam. You know, what I mean, at least do a little bit better. You know, what I mean, like a little bit of an improvement. But that's exciting. That is exciting.
Yeah. So that's the plan. We definitely would love to introduce more fan-made teams. In the end, I think the contest worked out pretty well. There were some difficulties, of course, but yeah.
Cool. All right, next question. Marbles for Autism asks, how will the 16 teams be chosen? We've already answered that question before, but I will let Mel say that we've already answered the question before, so he actually answers the question.
Yeah, we answered that before, but just once again, I'm willing to repeat it.
Awesome. See, this is how awesome Mel is. He'll repeat it.
Yeah, I'm just used to that with our community, with just people in general. You can't be. You will. I mean, I'm happy to repeat something. I don't get when people are getting upset when they're asked to repeat something like, why didn't you listen? You got that.
Like they're expecting that other people are actually listening the first time, right?
Yeah, just like repeat it. Come on, it's not a big deal.
All right.
Okay, so to answer the
real
question,
quick for us.
The teams have been chosen in a closed discussion round, really, really long discussion round. It went on for a whole day, and a voting round after that by the JMRC.
Cool.
And I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but Jelle already approved our choice of the teams, and he liked what we came up with as a result. And just stay tuned. We will be announcing the teams in a promotional phase very soon.
Awesome. That's going to be an exciting time. I'll wait to see if the Limas can make their way in there. All right, a couple more questions here. From Lols no, is that double underscore? Yes, it is. And he couldn't even couldn't even figure out the underscore. Lols with a Z underscore cats with a Z, because if you put a Z on the end, then you're automatically cooler. So he utilized the Z is cooler thing twice.
How to overanalyze a username?
Overanalyze, underanalyze, and both of those have a Z in them. Sorry. He says, a weird question. Can you please give the Snowballs a chance to qualify? I don't know how to respond to this.
Well, I think they gave that chance to themselves because they really had an impressive performance.
Yeah,
so
they kind of are having the chance.
Yeah, I don't think we need to interfere. I think they'll. Yeah, we will see in the qualifiers, but don't worry too much.
Okay, so 2 more questions here. Another kind of a repeat from Psychotic Duck 12. So there's multiple Psychotic Ducks at this point. Are the ML Marbles competing in M1, or are they completely new? Have we answered this already?
Not particularly. I think he's referring more to the marbles themselves and not the teams. So if you're meaning the team members...
Oh, that's a good question. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that.
The answer is yes, because we're using MLT members for the first season of Marbula 1. Now, It might be that in the future, the teams will recruit some new team members who will race for them, so that the Marble Olympic team members can concentrate on training for the Marble Olympics. So that's a possibility as well. But to answer your question, yes, we will be using Marble League marbles.
You'll get it eventually.
Yeah,
it's built in.
for Marbula 1 for the first season.
That's exciting. And for the last question, from Suicidal Flare, which is Flare or Killian Bladestar, who we know and love from the live chat. Big shout out to him again for helping us with the special coming up, episode 25. He asks, the most important question of all time, is red number 3 a marble kappa?
So
sigh on that.
Well, Yele said it in public already, but red number 3 is not a traditional marble. It's actually a keychain, but it has the same size and the same weight as just a normal sand marble, rally marble, which is why is he competing in the series. So red number 3 is technically not a marble. And I really hope this won't cause
Refer
any
to documentary.
Refer to Yele's statements earlier.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Because he said it himself. So this shouldn't be any news.
It shouldn't be, yes, because it's all over everywhere. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed all those questions and the information Mr. Mellacus had to give us today, and the trivia segment, which was fun.
Really fun, really tough questions.
We are almost an hour and 20. We're probably just going to leave this into one long episode because it's long, but it's not that bad. And big thanks to you, Mellacus, for coming on. It's always awesome to have you on. Always awesome to
Thank
talk
you for having me.
with a very marbly guy like myself. Any final thoughts, words, predictions, stuff to throw out there before we close it out?
No, actually not. I'm just happy to be here, happy to talk about marbles, happy to share some insight on what's going on in JMR currently, and can't wait for what's to come in the future.
Neither can I. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Go to our outro, see how our producer does with his second episode. I'm very happy for him that he's helping out. And we'll see you guys for next week, I think. Yep, next week for episode 21. I don't know what we're going to do for that. See you guys later. See you guys next week.
Bye.